Okay, so the story I have 2 children. The story I'll be talking about today is, in regards to my second child. So by this stage, I'd already had 1 child, so I knew what it felt like to be in labour and understood sort of the signals from my body as to what was happening. So with the labour of my second child, I felt as though I needed to go to hospital at about 5 o'clock in the morning, and my sister came and took me. I speak with a pretty flat affect most of the time. I very rarely sound excited, angry. This is pretty much what you get most of the time with me. And if I'm tired or exhausted or in pain, it becomes even more flat. Um, so I generally won't scream at anything, even if I'm extremely angry or in a lot of pain. So back to the story. My sister came and got me at about 5 o'clock. We rang the midwife, turned up at the hospital, and they said I was about 3 to 4 centimeters dilated. The baby wasn't coming in to go home because I didn't look like I was in labor. And they said, but they kept me around for a little while for observation. I think that was about 2 hours. And we were left in a room, and my sister and I were just chatting and sort of passing time. At the end of it, I could tell that I was in active labor towards transition. And I was like, "Mandy, we can't go home. Like, I've got a toddler at home. I'm in active labor here. We cannot." And she's like, "I agree. I don't think it's super safe to be doing that. I don't really want to be delivering a baby." Um, and so when the midwife came back to sort of say, "Yep, okay, here's some painkillers, go home and rest," she was like, "You need to check her again because she needs to stay here." And I was like, and with this sort of level of tone and affect, I said, "Yeah, I really think I need to be here." And she's like, "No, if you were actually in active labor, you would be screaming and writhing in pain." And I'm like, "Well, I can tell you this is my second child and we are there." And she just didn't believe me. And my sister at this time, and knowing that you cannot be too aggressive in hospitals, she was starting to lose her temper. And I'm like, "No, no, we have to leave." I'm also very rules focused. So the nurse had made a rule to say that I had to go home. So we ended up going back to her house. About half an hour after we got there, it became apparent that the baby was coming now. So this was within maybe an hour and a half of leaving the hospital. And I was crying because the nurse had said that we weren't allowed to go back. And I said, "But we can't break the rules." And she's like, "I don't really care." And she was agitated by this stage and really upset for me. So she got the midwife on the phone. The midwife said, "You can't come back. This baby's not being born today." My sister had a few strong words to say about that. And she said, I believe I remember her saying, "I don't think you really get to determine that. The baby has decided that they are coming." And we get in her car and race to the hospital. And I get there and she's still like, "Oh, yeah, this looks a little bit more like you're in labor." And my sister insisted on her checking me, and the baby was about to be born. So my sister called my husband to say, essentially, "Get here or you're going to miss the birth of your child." Took him about 15 minutes to get there. He was there for about 2, 3 minutes before the baby was born. So, this experience was extremely traumatic. It's 10 years ago, and it still sits with me and could have been completely avoided if she had have listened to the words that were coming out of my mouth, as opposed to trying to read, body language or my tone.